Now, Cobb LED lights are LEDs, but they're a little bit different than what you're used to. Instead of them looking like individual diodes that you would see on a light board, basically on an LED panel, this is actually on a wafer. And if you look at the front of the RC220B, it looks like a little yellow disc. Now, that's really the basis of the RC220B, but let's break it down just a little bit further to explain what you're actually getting in the package. The first thing to notice is the 220 on the side, which indicates the wattage. It is a 220 watt light system, so it does take in a lot of energy to put out a lot of energy, so that's something to notice there. And the next thing to notice is the fact that it has the letter B on the end, as well as a tungsten kind of coloring for the logo, meaning this is a bicolor light, allowing you to adjust for a range of spectrum when it comes to warm versus cool lighting. So if you like really warm colors versus really cool colors, you can adjust that with the lighting because it does have that ability. So whether you like the tungsten yellow of the light behind me, or you like the bright white of a CFL, you really get both with this light. Now, for the nerds out there who care about this, the RC220B does have a CRI rating of 95+. But those are really just kind of like the box type specifications that you would find on the website. Let me tell you now 3 things I like versus 3 things I don't, and kind of give you a real world aspect to it for those people who enjoy kind of real world applications versus like what you would see online. So one of the first things that I noticed was the UI on the back of the light and how nice and tactile it was. For one, you get the ability to adjust the light itself and the power and what you're going to get out of it. On the other side, you can also adjust that bicolorness, like we were talking about, between warm and cool colors, but you also get the functionality to adjust mode and frequency. So if you like those modes where it breathes or it looks like fireworks or whatever, you can adjust the different modes that you select as well as the frequency, basically meaning how quickly those things breathe or how quickly they pop. So it can give you a lot of functionality just on the back of the light itself. And secondly, the thing that I probably noticed the most is how powerful overall the light is. Really, I've been using it mostly for the things that I've created in the last couple of weeks at less than 20% power because that's really just what I needed. It can go much further than that, but for me, that's kind of what I've been using it for. And probably again, the next thing that I noticed that I really enjoyed about using this light was the bicolor aspect of the light itself. So for me, one thing that I really wanted out of a light is versatility. And by having bicolor aspects to a light, that means I can use it in more than just one situation. Now on the other side, there are some things that I wanted to mention that could be potentially seen as drawbacks. And I think it's going to depend on what you're using it for, is whether these things are going to come up or not. But I think for me, using it, I found them to be kind of drawbacks, so I wanted to mention them for you guys. The first thing is something I haven't mentioned up until this point, and that's because I really think it should go in the plus category, but because it is a little buggy, it potentially is a drawback, and that's talking about the connectivity through Bluetooth with the app. Now, the idea specifically, I think, is a great one because by using an app, you now can adjust those features without having to adjust the light or without having to actually physically handle the light at all, which can be very helpful when you're trying to be very particular with your scene. On the other side, I did feel that the app was a little buggy and the UI when it came to the app was a little frustrating. One of the things that I probably noticed the most was disconnecting and reconnecting through Bluetooth, and that it wouldn't find the light, or it would say that it's found, it would connect, and then it wouldn't actually show up in the list at all of devices. And the second thing that I noticed that I wasn't super into was the connection point for the Bowens mount. Now, when it comes to a Bowens mount, this is supposed to accept all kinds of light modifiers. These are all soft boxes of different shapes and sizes, different weights. So when you're talking about something that's universal, you want it to accept a lot of different things. And in this case, I've used a giant softbox for a key light like this one. So it's something that I found to be a little aggravating because it does have a really good snap with the trigger, but getting it to actually fit in and then lock was a little bit of a pain. And the third thing that I would mention here that I think is a point of contention for me is the actual tension bar at the bottom of the light itself. The tension bar is basically meant to keep the light at a certain angle or level, depending on however you situate it, but it should be able to be tightened and then it shouldn't move. For me, this is something that is probably, again, one of those problems just for me because of the softbox I was using. But again, if it's supposed to be universal and I'm supposed to use all kinds of different things with it, sometimes I'm going to use an oversized softbox, and for that reason I want that tension bar to really hold on to that light position. And in my case, there were definitely times when I was a little weary, a little nervous of like setting the light away and kind of just walking away from it because I felt like that tension wasn't quite enough. So I think something that they could improve upon if they were going to make like a Mark II or a second edition would be to increase that tension so you could really crank down on it and that light wouldn't move at all. Or maybe make like a secondary one, something that would back up the first. I don't know, I'm not really an engineer, but just something to make it where that light really wasn't going to go anywhere. Because it is kind of pricey and your soft boxes are expensive, so you don't want to break any of that kind of stuff. But that's pretty much it. Those are kind of the things that I noticed that I liked and those that I didn't. And hopefully some of this has kind of helped you out if you're thinking about picking something up like this, or maybe you're thinking about this light specifically and you were searching for it. Hopefully at least one of these ideas resonates and either will help you pick something like this up, or on the other side, maybe you'll think, meh, it's not really for me. Either way though, I hope you will go down in the comments below and let me know. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Is this something that you like? Is it something that you didn't? Do you have one of these and you think that there's something that I should add to this list potentially? Let me know all that kind of stuff in the comments below. I would love to hear all of your thoughts. And hopefully while you're down in the comments, you will check out my links for Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and let me know what you're thinking about there as well, because I would love to see you guys on the other social platforms as well. And beyond all of that, I want to say thank you so much for watching this one again. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for leaving all the love. I appreciate it very much. Peace out for now though, and I will see you guys in the next one.